guys, this is Megan Moves, and you're watching Always Theme Parks.
This is probably the weirdest dessert at Disney World, but ended up tasting so good.
Megan Moves is one of the fastest growing Disney influencers around.
Hello from Epcot.
How much does it cost to eat for the day at Disney's California Adventure Park?
Always Theme Parks Creator Spotlight takes a look at how Megan has amassed over 42 million views with her unique and insightful Disney park content.
I did not think this would be good at first, but once you bite into it, it is so delicious and a unique dessert to have at Epcot.
From tips on what to wear, what to eat, and how to stay on a budget, Megan helps families create unforgettable vacations.
Welcome to Always Theme Parks Creator Spotlight. Today we are with Megan from Megan Moves. She is a content creator with nearly 50,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel and over 42 million views of her content.
Yes, and 1.4 million views in the last 30 days alone. She's helping families create unforgettable vacations, and she is here with us today. Let's welcome Megan.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. It's so good to meet you guys.
Thank you for being here.
We're
Absolutely.
super excited to have you. So our first question is, what inspired you to start creating content for Disney parks? Because we noticed on your channel, when you started, there was a few other content things, and then it slowly looks like it evolved primarily to Disney. So tell us about your journey.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I'll try to keep a long story short, but back in around 2019, 2020, I moved to Florida. I had graduated college and moved down, and I lived by myself, and I was looking for a new hobby and was always kind of interested in video and learned about YouTube channels and things like that. And so I knew I wanted to have a YouTube channel, but as you said, I was posting a ton of things. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to focus on.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. My name is Megan Nicole, and today I just want to walk you through the goals that I have set for myself this year in 2020.
And at that time, I became a Disney annual pass holder since I lived in Florida. So I went by myself, and a lot of my family members were asking me, like, what do you do at Disney World and different things like that. So I'm like, I'm just going to start, videoing my experience and kind of share it with my family, and people on the internet started liking it. And so I started sharing more and started going to Universal and things like that. And it started to grow, and it was really exciting. So
With this Halloween season among us, it has definitely made its way to Magic Kingdom, and there is so much to see and do and experience during this Halloween season. We have some new Halloween merch, we've got a Halloween event, some Halloween treats, lots of things to take advantage of this Halloween season. So let's go ahead and look at some of the things that you can do this season at Magic Kingdom.
Wonderful. That's a really good intro. Yeah. It's always nice to niche down, isn't it? And find what you're passionate about doing.
yes, definitely. Yeah, the older videos are funny when people see them because they're like, what is this? But it's always, the memories to kind of look back on and see where you started. So
Absolutely. So how did your channel first gain traction, and what content resonated most with your audience earlier on?
yeah, that's a good question. I started sharing vlogs of my times going, and those did all right. They were, kind of sporadic and things like that. But then I started really sharing tips of what I did whenever going to the parks, or what really kind of touched my heart whenever I go to the parks, is seeing families that were kind of confused or didn't quite know what they were doing. And, they spend so much time and money planning for these tricks that I was like, I have the experience and I have the knowledge. I really want to get this info out to people. So I started sharing tips, videos. And then I also love sharing my essentials and the bags and everything that I bring to the parks. So once I started sharing those started doing really well. So those are kind of the first things that I saw really not take off, but really resonate with the audience. And then I started kind of niching into the tips and the tricks and, all the things with that.
How did you feel when that first video went to 40,000 or something, that big jump up from 500 views to the suddenly thousands of views? How did that feel?
That was a really interesting feeling, because I think my first year on YouTube, it was kind of, you would get some views and things. But whenever that first video kind of went off, I remember telling my, boyfriend at the time, he's my husband now, but I remember telling him look at this is really crazy. And so that kind of gave me the motivation to keep going and things like that. And I started with long form videos, and then they introduced the shorts. And when they started to introduce the shorts, I started posting like crazy. That's why it looks like I have so many videos on my channel, because there were, times when I just was putting a bunch of videos out. But yeah, the shorts is what really started to help my channel get more exposure and reach and as far as that goes. But the first time I saw that, I was like, wow, this is crazy. So
No, I think, you know what I like about your style is like it's very personal, because some channels can just seem a little bit more formal, but yours is more personal. Like I just watched one where you're checking out all the Loungefly bags and you're kind of describing like why you like them, how your obsession started. She's obsessed with Loungefly bags at the moment. I got her first one in September for her birthday, and she's like, I only want one. I'm like, some people collect them. She's like, I will never collect these. And now that we moved to Florida, she's got like what, 9, 10 of them now?
Yeah, like
go add that. I am a Loungefly person too, so I have a video coming out soon. It's funny you say that about my whole collection. People are like, how many bags do you have? What bags do you have? So I'm like, you know what? We'll share it all. So
what's your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
I wish I had it here, but my husband got me the Baymax Loungefly, and it's just like him, like it's like a cosplay bag of him, and it's sold out everywhere, and you can't get it in the parks. And every time I wear it to the parks, people are always like, Baymax, he's so cute. And so it just makes me smile because I know that they're excited to see it. So that one's my favorite. But do you have a favorite?
I have probably, well, it's not a Loungefly, but my Snow White Kate Spade bag's my favorite.
Yes, Kate Spade's nice too. I love that bag too.
My favorite Loungefly, probably my Mickey, my mini one, my green mini one.
You like whatever the last one I gave you is. That's what she wants.
That's depends on the mood.
Yeah, that's the one you've been wearing to the parks.
Yeah, but he wants an orange bird one. Like, but we can't really find many of them anywhere. So yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite is orange birds. I noticed you had a couple orange bird videos too, which is really cool.
Yes, I love the Orange Bird and Baymax are my two like favorite Disney characters. So Orange Bird's super fun.
So now I know you live in Pennsylvania, and I see videos in California where I used to live, and I see videos in Florida where we live now. How do you plan your trips? Like, do you just go to both places and then just make a ton of content and you come back, or like, what's this like? Because you're creating that, but you're far away from both parks.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's been about 2 years that I lived back here in Pennsylvania. I used to live in Florida, like I mentioned before.
I really wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on over here on the Megan Move side of things. So as you see by the thumbnail, I'm going to be moving not to a new location in Florida, but I'm actually going to be moving back to Pennsylvania to live with my family.
Anytime I go to the parks, I usually try to visit like 4 times a year. I try to go every quarter. And anytime I go, I plan out kind of all my video ideas ahead of time, or I kind of look through my B-roll and stuff that I have video-wise and see what don't I have or what would I like to get more content of. And so I kind of have a list of, all the things I need to get. And when I go, I am kind of like videoing the whole time. I've gone with my family, my husband, I've gone solo. So it really just kind of depends on the trips. But I'm videoing all the time, and I still found a way to, do it and get the content, but also have a good time when I go down, because I do enjoy visiting for fun and stuff too. So, but yeah, I just video a ton, and then when I come back, I just start plugging away at the videos, and I've been able to get enough videos now that if I have a video idea in mind, I can kind of go back through my folders and see, do I want to make a food video or a bag video and things like that. So, it's very strategic how I do it, but it's still fun. So
yeah, that's got to be tough, because we lived in Texas for a little bit and we were coming back and forth here.
Yeah.
And then we see a creator would create like a video of the Christmas bag or something. We're like, wait, we don't have it. How do you deal with like the FOMO of watching other people's stuff? Because like we're going to the park like 2 or 3 times a week. And so, but like someone that's far away, like how do you deal with that? What is it like for you?
Yeah, no, it is definitely at the beginning when I originally moved back, the FOMO was real. I was like, oh man, all the seasonal things. It's kind of hard sometimes, but whenever I do go down, I try to either get some of the videos that I missed, or if there are bags, I try to get last minute like collection content or whatnot of the seasonal or seasonal items and stuff like that. But I've kind of learned to, whenever I go down, like really make the most of it and enjoy my time, because I know it might not be a couple more months until I can go down, so, but I still want to challenge myself to do one of those like Disney in a day trips, because I do see a lot of people like book the super early flight, go to the park for the day and then get like a late night or flight home. So I still want to challenge myself to do that. But yeah, I try to just, look forward to the future trips and make the most of it whenever I'm there.
That would be cool. I remember my brother and I, when we'd come to Florida in the 90s, I used to come here all the time just for fun. And because we live like 5 minutes from Disneyland. So our whole thing would be like, go get a churro, eat it in front of the Disney World castle, film it, fly back to California, go to Disneyland, eat another churro, and try to say like, okay, we did 2 churros in one day in front of the castle. That was like our thing. That was before YouTube, but we used to do that all the time. And it was super fun.
Love that.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's a challenge too. I do have that on my Disney bucket list too. I think that would be pretty cool to do each park in a day. That would be insane.
Or like the New Year's Eve, like if you could celebrate, that'd be really hard. You have to have a private plane.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But like if you could do New Year's and then just fly back and then do New Year's, that'd be so cool. I don't know.
So that would be really, really cool.
We do a jet, but anyway.
Yeah.
So you mentioned doing tip videos is kind of like what people wanted, but what's your favorite type of content to create?
I do love the like what I wear to the parks or like what I bring. I don't know what it is, but I just love sharing I always talk about my essentials and things like that. And you can definitely go to the parks with just your wallet and your magic band or your ticket and stuff like that. But I just love sharing the little things that like have helped during my day and stuff like that. So I also just love clothes and outfits and bags. So that is kind of what I gravitate towards. And just the planning and anticipation of going to the park gets me excited. So I think that's probably why I like sharing that. But also the like, best things to do and stuff inside the parks, because I really don't like seeing families miss out on something they may have enjoyed. And, they get to the end of their park day and they're like, oh man, I didn't even know this ride was here, this character and stuff. So, yeah, that was probably like a long-winded answer, but those are kind of my favorite things I like to gravitate towards.
I'm going to throw in with one question is like, what do you think of these lightning lane passes now? I mean, where they're spending sometimes $400 or $500 in a day. Do you think that's necessary, or do you think it's just a luxury, or what's your view on that?
Yeah, I usually, because I've tried the lightning lanes. I've gone down with my sister and she doesn't get to go as often. So when we went together, I was like, you know what, I want to try it anyhow. And I also want her to kind of make the most of the time that she has when she's there. So the thing that I kind of try to tell people is if you aren't visiting Disney often, or if you've never been before, it's nice to have that just so you can, make the most of your time and don't have to wait as long in lines. But if you're going to visit again, or if you visit often, that's kind of a case that I think you don't necessarily need the lightning lanes. And it's also a seasonal thing too. Like if you're going during Christmas right now, you might want to have that because the parks are going to be busy. But if you're going during the spring or the fall where it's not as busy, you can kind of get by without having it. So I kind of help or try to tell people case by case if they would think it's helpful. But I know it is an added cost that can definitely add up as you have more people in your family or in your party. So that's typically what I like to tell people. Or what do you guys think about it?
We think the same as you, basically. Like, we would never purchase them. But then again, if we do have family visiting around Christmas time, we probably would.
But I mean, we usually go, our time of the park is like, we go date days every Friday for us. So we go there and like, we'll pick a park but we only like to stay like 4 or 5 hours maximum.
We're all down.
We'll do like 3 or 4 rides. And so like, what we did, Magic Kingdom, we did like Space Mountain, Carousel of Progress, because you never went on it. And then our longest splurge, which we should have done a lightning lane, was Jingle Cruise. Because that line is horrible. That's just like the worst line to wait in. There's nothing to do.
Everyone is like stuck close to you and you're like, yeah.
And everybody's lounge fly bag was bothering you. They were smacking into you. So yeah, I think Jingle Cruise would be the only one I would do it for. Yeah. It's worth the $30 not to sit in that line. But other stuff, like we went on Frozen and it was 45 minutes, but there's plenty of stuff to do. But a lot of times, like, we're shooting content and then we're like editing in the line. So that's kind of like our thing is like, oh, it's 45 minutes. Okay, cool. We can post just 3 shorts. Let's go and do it. So that's been our little thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that you say that too about the like taking advantage of time and lines too, because I'll definitely do that. I'll like look through my list. I'm like, okay, like I did this right or whatever, check that off. Or like you said, post the stories or something like that. So
Definitely.
the time management is key.
We pretty much bought a house while we were waiting in the line, just like doing all the admin to buy in the house and so there's always stuff to do.
Yeah, the Mickey and Minnie line was long, so you actually finished everything with a real estate agent that way. But yeah,
I did. So, obviously, content is one thing, but engagement with your viewers is a completely different thing. So, what's been your most surprising feedback that you've received from your audience?
I would say when I first started, I usually post the shorts and things like that. So I get a lot of comments and engagement, and most of my audience use the shorts that I post. So I'd say when I first started posting, it was mainly a lot of like Disney fans and parks fans kind of commenting, or new people going to the parks and asking questions and things like that. So that was really fun. But as I've grown, I've started to reach a wider audience, which is nice, which is great. But you also get, some of the negative commenters or things like that. So it's definitely been kind of a mix of engagement. But I love getting in the comments. I always wake up, but that's like one of the first things that I do is I go and see if anybody commented overnight or things like that. They help me structure future videos, or I like checking on, my viewers and stuff like that. Even though I've never met them, it feels like I know them because they watch a lot of the videos and stuff. So, they help me because they watch, but they also like give me future video ideas and feedback and stuff. So, I really enjoy engaging with the audience for sure.
that's cool. You mentioned all the Disney content out there. There's so much. There's so many channels. I mean, I've done Disney content since the 90s, since before there was YouTube. I used to do documentaries on all the theme parks. I'd interview all the Disney legends, and I'd do like 35-minute, 40-minute documentary films on the making of a Haunted Mansion and sold them as DVDs back in the days. But now there seems to be like so much stuff. How do you keep your content fresh and relevant? Like a lot of people have probably seen the new Walalulu pineapple cake, right? There's like 16 videos on that. We just went there on Friday and we just made a video. It's like, but how do you keep it fresh? Like what's your approach for that?
Yeah, I definitely try to share my perspective or my side of what I think of it. I try to keep things on like a budget side, because I'm more of like a budget traveler to begin with, and I know people are visiting with their families, and Disney's expensive to begin with, so I like to try to help people save money. So I try to keep like that perspective in mind. But also I'm trying to think of like what else. That's a good question and I also try to see based on what other people share, like what are they leaving out, or looking in their comments, what are people asking that maybe they didn't answer. So I kind of try to go from that way too, or maybe add different effects or different points of view on the video and stuff. So or I'll just post the same thing and see if people react to it in a different way or show different angles of whatever it might be. So there's maybe a couple of things that maybe go into it.
Oh, that's cool. I like some of like your graphics and things like that. They're really nicely done, and they're kind of like sometimes when I'm just browsing the shorts feed, if I'm not sure who I'm watching, when your graphics pop up, I'm like, oh, that's Megan Moves. Okay, she's doing that. Because sometimes we don't see your face, we just start seeing the video, but then I know by the graphics. So you do kind of have developed your own style, which is really cool.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that feedback. It's always interesting to hear like what people think when they do watch, because I'm there kind of editing and stuff, but I appreciate that because it's interesting seeing what people do think of it.
You branded really well. We both kind of said that, and your editing is really good as well. And we like the shorts that we see.
Yeah, I've been a video editor since '93, so like I like when people edit well, because some of the videos they're big creators, sometimes they're just literally them just talking forever, and it's just like, okay, you're a big creator, this is cool to watch, but I don't really care. But when I see a well done short or it's something that I'm actually interested in, it's nice. And I think a lot of your videos hit that mark. So well done with that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So I've got a really important question for you now, Megan. What Disney park is your favorite to film in and why?
Oh, okay. I love that. I would probably say Magic Kingdom. It's my favorite park to begin with, but I also just love all of the things that are there. It's one of, as far as I guess my videos, I'm not sure other people, but whenever I post something about Magic Kingdom, that's usually the one that gets the most interest. So I really like going there because there's a ton of things that you can video about, or when people are going on their vacations, they're most likely going to Magic Kingdom because it's one of the more popular Disney parks and stuff. It's, in my opinion, like the main Disney World park and stuff. But so I love going there and just sharing the rides. There's a lot of my favorite rides are there. A lot of my favorite treats are there. I love the Dole Whips. So I like going there, and there's a lot of like spots that are, in my opinion, creator friendly that I can prop my phone or, you know, kind of hide away if I don't want a lot of people watching me talk to myself. So I usually like to go to Magic Kingdom and Epcot too. I'd say Epcot is like my favorite or second favorite. Just with all the food that you can get yourself into and all rides and things. And the characters. They have really good characters there too. So
Who's your favorite character? Who's your favorite character?
I think Baymax is my favorite character. I heard he used to be at Epcot, but I never got to meet him there. And he has a meet and greet in Disneyland now. When we were on our honeymoon, we went to go meet him. So I was like, yes, I'm so excited. So he's my favorite. And I don't know, at Disney World, who my favorite, I'd say like Minnie Mouse is probably my favorite to meet at Disney World and stuff. So those are my two favorite. Yeah.
That's really cool. I saw one of your videos the other day. It was Disney World for $0. That was a really cool little one where you kind of taught us how to go around the resorts and things like that. That's something we really like. But is there another tip about any of the parks, or even just the trip in general? Like, I used to plan a trip to Disney World every year from like 95 to like 2004. I went almost every year, went from California, and I did like a 12-day thing, and like it was tough back then. But what's one of your best tips for everybody traveling?
That's a good question. I would say something that, since I'm a pass holder, I haven't purchased tickets as much recently. And I don't know if this is a good tip or not, but when we went on our honeymoon to Disneyland, we don't have Magic Key passes. So we were trying to figure out the best ticket deals and things like that. So we went on one of the like budget ticket dealers, and they had a ticket that included the Lightning Lane pass with it. I know they have like Undercover Tourist and all the things like that. That's something that I kind of want to explore more this year to tell viewers about, because when you buy from Disney, you might not get a discount unless you purchase like a package or something. But it's kind of neat to look at those sites because they have discounted tickets and things. But I also, like you were saying, would recommend that people take advantage of the resort hopping or the Disney transportation to kind of get out and see different things at Disney World, because there's a lot of cheap ways that you can, or a lot of ways that you can have a cheaper day at Disney World during your visit that's still fun and you're still experiencing the magic. So we love the resort hopping and Disney Springs. And when I lived down there and people would come visit me, they maybe didn't want to spend money to go to the parks. So I'm like, okay, we're going to go ride around a Disney bus or the Skyliner, and we're going to go try some treats and just see the resorts and still enjoy the parks and, you know, Disney and stuff like that. So I would definitely recommend budgeting some time for that if your schedule allows it, because there's some cool things that you can see.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. And do you have a favorite season or event at the parks for creating content?
The summer is very hot and busy, so I usually try to go either like May, and then September is my favorite time to go to Disney World. I just love how low the crowds are. I love the Halloween is happening then. I've never done like the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, so I need to probably check that out next year, but I do love the Halloween season at Magic Kingdom. There's something about just all the Mickey pumpkin wreaths. Like, I really want one for myself, but they're just so cute to see, and I love all the seasonal treats and things like that. So the fall is my favorite to go. The weather gets a little cooler and there's less crowds, so I really like that time.
Yeah, that's a good time to go. I just saw, we used to at Character Breakfast at Contemporary last week, and they were still selling Mickey pumpkins in the Contemporary like gift shop. Like, there was one left. I think it was 50% off too. So we should definitely, there's your tip to get one. So Your channel's doing really well, and we're going to wrap things up here, but where do you think your channel going? Are you going to be like more, I mean, it's Disneyland and Disney World, or are you going to start doing like Universal Epic Universe stuff? I've seen a few Universal videos. What do you think?
Yeah, I would definitely like to branch out and still, I don't know, I've gone back and forth about what I'd like to do in the future. I love visiting Disney and the parks. I feel safe going if I have to go by myself or, with family and stuff. I really enjoy doing that. Definitely we'll get into more Universal next year. I have a ticket for opening day for Epic Universe, which I'm super excited about. But I also do really like visiting other places like the national parks, and there's other places around the US that I like visiting, and would potentially like to go to the other Disney parks around the world. Disneyland Paris looks pretty cool, and I think it's Shanghai Disney or Tokyo Disney. I can't remember which one I want to go to. So I see that maybe in the more distant future, but we'll see it. I would like to branch out into other things, but right now I'm really comfy with the Disney and theme park content. So we'll see kind of where it goes from there.
That's awesome. You like Disneyland Paris, don't you? You went there for your birthday.
Went for my 30th in Paris, but isn't Orange Bird at Tokyo?
Orange Bird came back at Tokyo, yeah. That's where he came back, because he was gone for a long time, but he came back from there.
They brought
Yeah,
him
we
back.
just did a video on Orange Bird, because when I was little, I lived in Florida in the 70s for a little while, and Orange Bird was everywhere. And then when I came back in the 90s, he was gone, and I couldn't understand it. And then all of a sudden I came back later, and he came back, and I'm like, all right. And he came back because of Tokyo Disneyland, which was a weird thing. But it's been really, really nice having you on the show. We really appreciate it. We're going to watch more from your channel. And that wraps up today's Creator Spotlight with Megan Moves. We'll see you next time on
Always theme parks.
Did you know that not preparing for your Disney World trip can actually ruin your experience? Do you know the 33 must-have items for any Disney vacation? Or how to pack differently for a 3-day trip versus a 10-day adventure? Don't let these common mistakes derail your Disney dreams. At Always Theme Parks, we've compiled the ultimate packing list of essential items you'll need for the perfect Disney trip. Through our exclusive partnership with Amazon, we've made it easy to grab these hand-picked essentials, curated by our Disney-loving team, at discounted prices with lightning-fast delivery. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore these Disney must-haves for you and your family. We want you to be prepared and to have the best day ever at Walt Disney World. For more tips and tricks, visit Always Theme Parks today.